Hey y'all, Darby here with a video on how to set up a very simple GPT from an existing workflow or recipe. Our hero's journey recipe is going to be the example demonstration here today. And so I'm going to move over to this side. And inside of my chat GPT interface, you can see up here in the upper left-hand corner, these are the current GPTs that I've made and been messing around with. If you go down to your icon, you can select yourself, which will open up this folder. You go to My GPTs, that will open up a new screen, and we'll move into the next step of creating your GPT. So you can see here's my GPTs. You can see some recently used, how often it's been used in conversation, some by OpenAI, and I'm sure this will change as time moves on. But now once you click creating a GPT up here, it's going to open up this interface. So you can create where you can talk and just chat with the GPT builder. Then you can configure name, description, instructions, conversation starters, and that. And so what I've done is I've actually downloaded a TXT file of the hero's journey recipe, which I am going to upload right here to the knowledge base. And this is me training it on a very particular areas of workflow and outcome. So this is going to be the hero's journey. You may have like a book if you've written a book yourself, or if you are looking to reference materials like manuscripts or knowledge bases for like customer support, or a number of different things that have a lot of content related that you want to train up on. That's where this knowledge is going to go back here. You can see web browsing, DALL-E, image generation, and code interpreter is open. I'm not going to select code interpreter yet. And then you have a few ways to add additional settings, use conversation, improve our models. And so I'm actually going to say no on that one. And then actions is going to open up an ability to tap into other URLs. And so I'm not going to get into this during this video. What I am going to do is, now that I've uploaded my knowledge, go to create, and I'm going to paste simply contents that I am training it on, which is the hero's journey. And this is how the process will get started. And so as you can see, this is the entire workflow from one version of the hero's journey, all 12 stages of it that we broke down into a giant recipe. And now what ChatGPT's builder is doing is, you can see this document is outlining it. And so it's understanding, okay, this is what we've uploaded. It's analyzing the stages, and it's doing all of this to itself. And so whatever you're training it on, whether it's one specific prompt or how to answer questions, understanding your customer service. Okay, great. Let's create the GPT. And now we're feeding it the information, and we're using it as context to craft ultimately what's going to be the configuration of this GPT. And so what you can see here, as the GPT builder is going and configure, there's nothing here right now. That will start to get ironed out as building your GPT. And so it's going to come up with some outputs here related to the context that we've fed it and the instructions that we're going to want it to reference and create these type of outcomes. And so again, this being the hero's journey, naturally, whether you're creating a fictional character or you're creating a customer journey for somebody within your business as a customer, then there might be a few different ways that you can utilize a framework like this. But from storytelling to writing scripts to just brainstorming different relevant ideas, this GPT will help focus in on the specifics of the customer journey. And so as an example of it being built into action, you can generate logos and icons with it. And this is a neat little open book looking icon with a bunch of different cool art inside. Next, you now ready to go through 12 stages of the monomyth, offering prompts, questions, guides. Okay, cool. The profile picture represents a GPT, a mystical book opened. So cool. We'll keep it like this for now. We can easily change it. You can have DALL-E 3 change it, or you can upload your own icon. So you can do whatever you want there. And it's refining the context. How would you like it to approach? And so you can see we're still in that conversational side of things with that, but now we have our GPT come into life over here. So let's redefine the context. How would you like the GPT's approach to creativity, traditional storytelling, and innovative I'm going to say a mix of both, keeping in mind people use this for fiction, storytelling, customer journey, and more. Okay, so we'll just give it this information, and now is building and refining what I'll go to configure again. Now you can see a guide for character and story development using the hero's journey. This GPT is designed to assist. And so this is particular tools like, I'll just do this, ChatGPT to enhance storytelling process. And so that is the instructions. And we also had these conversations started to show up here. So it automatically put these in. You can add more if I wanted to. I'm not going to add more. So I'm just going to delete that. So we've got these here, and we've got the knowledge base, and it's pretty straightforward from there. And so it's still updating. But now at this point, now we can start to kind of test and see how it works. And, I've been noticing it's timing out here and there, depending on the generations. So kind of interesting to see how fast and quickly this is going to develop, and maintain just like the uptime and everything that if you're building and using these tools internally for your business, then you're going to want obviously this to be working often as possible. Now it's trained itself with GPT for a blend, and I'm sure that OpenAI is obviously doing a lot on their end to invest in this technology, so it's only going to improve from here. Headlines, toner style, formal, casual, mix of both. Include the own user perspective or a scale of imagination for the AI to build off, be conversational and vivid, using visceral, emotional language. So you can see here how I'm just kind of responding back with a reply and carrying on the conversation that is then informing the GPT to kind of modify, again, how it's going to be configured and during these questions. And then we can ask and say certain things like, I'm going to say hi, and you can start to here to walk you through the process. And so you just say hi, I can assist you in your character today. And so it's going directly towards that aspect of storytelling. And I'm seeing conversational, so let's talk about the presentation, personalized interactions based on user's level of experience. I'm gonna say yes, that's good. And as it's updating, notice that you can continue to play around with it over here, but now it's basically fully personalized, so we can test it out in the playground. I'm going to save it. Once you save it, you have a few options to publish only me, people with the link, or public. So mine is going to just be only me and people with the link. So as you can see here, I'm going to go back to my chats. And now there we see it's still untitled. So I'm just going to give it a name, Hero's Journey Builder. So I'm going to save it. And now, anytime I want to build, I would just go to edit and modify and tweak and update the hero and the stuff in the back and descriptions. See, I just deleted that and it went away from over here. So these are all prompts that you can use within your own. And then, of course, you can open up a direct instance of it in your GPTs. Let me see. Yep. And let's see, confirm. And so here we are in the Hero's Journey Builder, and it has all that stuff. So, hi, my character's name is, let's just say, Sam, and you'll start beginning the story. So, wait, is shape Sam adventure, and you understand a bit more. Could you tell me about Sam's background, the world he inhabits, and the envision? Sam is a hobbit in the modern needs a new pair of shoes. We provide shoes for hobbits as a brand. This is their customer journey. Okay, totally made up example, obviously based on Lord of the Rings and Sam, games in the modern world. And so my company is a pair of shoes that creates shoes for a brand that makes shoes for hobbits. I guess hobbits have big feet, don't wear shoes, so probably a terrible business idea. But you can see here now we're going to the ordinary world. Call to adventure, refusal of the call. So you see, might be hesitant, unsure about modern brands, cost involved, meeting a mentor. Brand's messaging resonates with him, and so that brand is going to be the mentor here, crossing the threshold. And so now it's basically we've built in this hero's journey framework for it to reference, and it's creating that story arc based on the context that we've provided it. And so whether you're making your own fictional character or you're making a character for your own brand, then you can utilize this GPT to help with building out your hero's journey, and utilizing that as a map to helping your customers or your characters create all the different elements within that story and all the different beats using this framework. So the basic example of how things get started here, and then you could merge back and forth with it to keep things going. But other than that, very simple to get a basic GPT up and a lot of fun to play with. So dive in, let me know how it goes for you, and see you in the next video.